Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to this channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid, roles could be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play as karmic themes to help you understand why your person's doing what they're doing, why you're attracting that person into your life. And you know, we want to know those things because a lot of times our person is not living the same reality that we're living. And so we're doing stuff that triggers them. We don't know what we're doing that triggers them. We just know that we're getting triggered from their reaction. So when you understand things from a different perception, you're able to, first of all, not be triggered, not react from your trigger, which is huge. But then you're able to see how you have, contributed to the imbalances within the connection and what you have to do to shape shift the connection. And if the person really cares about you and really loves you, well, guess what? Even if they did screw up, they're still going to be forced to think about it and feel those feelings that they don't want to feel. And if it's true love, they'll come back. And if it's not, you just weeded out a very toxic person. And even when they come back, you still have to, a lot of times, be careful. And it's not because the person wants to deliberately screw you over. What it usually is that the person has, again, habits and behaviorisms that are sabotaging. So if you're not aware of how that's going to influence you, then, well, then that's your karma, like I said, because hurt people hurt people. Now, anything of any importance or relevance to the channel you can find in the description box. I never know why I say what I say in the beginning of a reading. I just do. Usually there's little nuggets of what I just said we're going to find within the reading because that's usually the way that it works. But we'll see. Now, again, anything of any importance or relevance you can find in the description box below. Give it a thanks. Listen to me. Give it a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you to all my new and old subscribers. Thanks to all my loyal subscribers. Can't talk today. Oh, I'm on so much antibiotic. I just, felt my sinuses were acting up. I went out on a boat cruise the other night and I got nervous. I almost thought I had COVID, but thank God I don't. It was just a sinus infection, which completely goes right into my lungs, like overnight, 24/7. Like it's just what happens. Um, Not 24/7, but usually every time I get sick, that's what happens, is what I'm trying to say. All right. Just very annoying. Very annoying, but that's what happens when you live in survival mode for long periods of time. When you live in fight, flight, freeze for long periods of time, it really does mess up your immune system, where it's almost like your immune system decides to send too much antihistamine, like too much of what it doesn't need, which is what creates that response. And so even though I don't live in trauma today, my childhood did that to me. You know, it's ironic how, things that you do in your childhood, even for survival, have huge consequences on us. And thank God the body and mind are self-healing organisms, but because I lived that way for so long and then I smoked, on top of it for a really long time, you know, that's just the way that my body deals, and it's very irritating, as I said. All right, the word of the video is neglect, self-neglect. I feel like you're in connection with someone that has neglected you for a really, 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 really long time. And I feel like they finally have the awareness, but they're neglecting themselves now because it's like they don't want to come back with mud on their face. They don't want to come back with their head between their tail, their head in their hands. They don't want to be humbled out. And that's really the underlining energy. So I don't really feel like this person is doing that much. or they haven't done a lot for a really long time. I also, they know that this is a spiritual connection. They do have love for you. So they are denying themselves. They've kept the connection in a place of imbalance for a really long time, hoping that you would come back. And now they're starting to feel hopeless and actually guilty because they were so negative and they really did act like a narcissist. But now they're in fear. They didn't want to be blamed. They didn't want to be blamed for the way that they treated you. I feel like this person likes to get underneath your skin for no reason. Again, you felt forgotten about, like you were invisible, like you never even existed, which is what they wanted you to feel like, so that you would react and do something. This person wore a mask. I feel like they still wear a mask. They're pretending like everything's fine. Everything's not fine. They're actually um again neglecting themselves. They want to talk to you, but it's again, you got tired of them wearing the mask because I feel like you thought that they were a player. You thought that the whole time that they were a player. If you're not giving energy to me and we have this connection, it's because you don't want to, and it's because you're running around with other people. So you tell me one thing, but then you're telling other people other things, is what you felt, which is like you got tired of the person wearing a mask. It's like you wouldn't feel forgotten about. You wouldn't feel forgotten about if this person, was giving you the time. And so what you felt over time was unsafe. Is this person talking to somebody else? Are they sleeping around? Are they going to give me a disease? Like, what are they doing? Like, you just had enough. You had enough of their bad temper and disrespect because the moment that you would question them, well, then you got the attitude. Now you're the problem. You see? Now you're the problem. And all you know is, well, I just feel like we keep reliving the same exact experiences. I keep telling you that you keep making me feel forgotten about. I'm telling you, I feel unsafe in this connection because you're doing something. You're either talking to other people, and I'm going to have someone show up at my house, or you're going to give me a disease, or you're just going to leave one day. I really don't feel safe with you. And instead of you apologizing to me, you sat there and you held back. You held back. You wanted me to feel powerless. But all I know is that you're stuck in the past. You're stuck in the past in some weird type of trauma. And because you like to come in and out of my life, well, the abandonment issues, like, obviously triggered a lot of abandonment issues. Like I said, this person weaving in and out of your life, has just caused like all the abandonment issues that have happened in the past in your life to resurface. And then this person's going to gaslight you and tell you that no, you're not really seeing that. They're going to try and blur the lines. They're going to say that you misunderstood. Part of them taking a lot of time to come back to you was really just to make you well, to make you reach out to them, but also so that you get confused about the timelines, that you be confused about the details. But the thing is, you're not. And so, again, this person wastes a lot of time. It's again just felt like they had a lot of time for everyone else, which is again what they were trying to do. They were like, every time you question me, I'm going to just not be around, which is what they wanted. Again, because we see here a lot. Again, we see abandonment issues, no time. We see, again, it happened over and over again that you felt forgotten about. And to the point that you even mentioned that you don't feel safe and they didn't care. So I think that they weren't expecting you to hold to it. They just kept thinking eventually the time, you'll forget, you'll reach out, and you were like, I'm never gonna do any of that. I'm never doing that, even though that this was a divine union, it was. They wasted fucking time and tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. It's like they're like, well, they just move really slow. Like, there's no need to rush. I'll get to you when I get to you, which is completely disrespectful. And again, what you know is that they have too much trauma around past relationships and they don't take the time to heal. So they would love for you to like fall head over heels for them. They actually thought that you fell head over heels for them. That's what they thought. They didn't notice that you were getting resentful because, this person just, like I said, just would never heal anything, would never apologize, would never own what they did. They would continue to do the same bad behavior over and over and over again till the resentment built up so much that it kind of ruined this connection. Because why would you want to be in a relationship that you're lonely? You felt so alone in the connection that you'd rather be alone. This person refused to to plant the proper roots for you. It's like they're a whirlwind in their own life and they come with a lot of drama. They're intense again, and they have all these barriers up from past love blockages. And what you know is that they're wild at heart. So you're like, I'm going to be with you. You don't even want to be here. You don't want to even give me the time. You want to run around with everyone else. They wanted to be here for a good time, not a long time. That's what you know. So again, now all of a sudden this person's becoming impatient because what they're realizing is you're not coming back. Meanwhile, you were impatient a long time ago. Like again, you were done with this a long time ago, and this person didn't even notice that you disconnected. They're noticing now that you disconnected. They thought possibly because all those times that they got mad and they gave it time and they came back, you would talk to them. So they were like, oh, it's just going to go back to the way that it was. And you were like, no, no, I'm catching what you're doing. I'm catching what you're doing. It's like, I feel like the first few times you were like, well, maybe this person was busy and they lied and they manipulated to make you think that they had a lot of other things going on. Again, had time for everyone else except for you. So, they would gaslighting you, making it like, oh, I'm so busy, I really can't be there. But it was a choice. And that's why they took a lot of time because they're like, well, hopefully you won't ask that many questions. Maybe you won't like see what they were doing, but you saw what they were doing. And now they're getting impatient and now they're sad. But they didn't care that you were sad. They didn't care at all. This person's impulsive and they're fucking lazy as fuck. They don't do anything. That's what I feel like. I feel like they're just used to not doing anything and they always have a supply. That's what you know because you're like, well, you weren't giving me the time and this was a divine connection and you shit all over it. So you were giving time to other people, right? Now all of a sudden this person is impatient and wants to come back. But they're lazy and that's the problem and they're imbalanced. Man, their thoughts, they don't want to take, accountability for the fact that first of all, they're empty. They don't bring anything to the table. They didn't give anything. So there's like, you don't really feel like they have much of an identity. What do you do in your hobbies? What do you do for your hobbies? What do you do? You say you have time for everyone else. What are you spending it on? It's like because you're not giving me anything. You're so empty, you bring nothing to me. And the reason why is because this person has a lot of, again, addiction. So you want to know what they do in their spare time? They talk to a lot of other people and they drink, they do drugs, they have fear of change. They can't deal with any type of criticism. This person like focuses too much on the physical body. Now they're paranoid because they put themselves in a weird, friggin' unnecessary competition with you. And now they're angry because it backfired. And that's really what it is. It's just that they thought that this past life connection was going to be enough. But you saw it as being a contract and you said, I'm not going to be put in a place of disempowerment. And you're not going to give me nothing because you're going to say that you don't have anything. It's like I'm going to be in a relationship with someone that just gives me anxiety all the time, is what you felt. And you also got tired of this person projecting their bullshit onto you. It's like, and that's what you know. So that's why you're like, what are you bringing me at this point? So that's why you're not going back to them. See, this person's starting to realize I didn't give enough. And they're also realizing that you know exactly what they were doing. So again, I'm not really feeling like they're doing that much, And so let's see what they think. Let's see what they're thinking about right now. Let's see what they're gonna do. Let's see what they're gonna do. Okay, first card out is there's someone else I still have feelings for. Oh, well, I feel like again there's a karmic still involved. I can't admit how deeply my feelings are for you. I wasn't ready for real love, and I'm sorry. So this person pretended like they wanted a relationship and they never really wanted one. I have to guard my heart so I don't get hurt again. I feel like they're connected to a karmic, but obviously that's probably a very toxic connection because this person's talking to a lot of other people. So it's like they're not going to give anything really to anyone else because someone else is sitting in that chair, but that person's not getting anything either is what you know. I really do love you, but the timing isn't right. This is what they're said. I'm sad that we just aren't meant for each other. So this is where they are because they're, at the time they were with this karmic, even though they're not giving anything to end to that karmic. I mean, that karmic, I feel like either lives in the house or like they own something together. There's still some tie where this person is like, well, I can't move forward. However, I'm not going to give anything to that karmic, but I'm going to run around with a lot of other people, but I'm not really ready to go into another relationship because I got hurt from that karmic. So I don't really feel like we're meant to be together because hey, you hold standards. You want standards. You're not going to make it easy for me, is what I feel, which is what this person's all about. They're like, I just don't have it, and that they didn't want to do it. And I feel like that they, um, you know, I just feel like they do have feelings, but they weren't ready. And so what this person's is like they know that you're going to meet somebody. It's like because even if they were ready to be with you, like even if they wanted to be with you, they're not ready to be with you and they really are know that you're going to be with somebody else. So that's the real reason. It's like that this person's not going to get out of their situation. They're connected to somebody else that they don't really want to be with, but they have obligations there and they can't get out. And so what they know is that they wasted a lot of time, they don't have anything to give, and that you're over it. And so what they're saying is, I'm going to let it go because, you're going to meet somebody else. But if they happen to come back and you're free, this person I feel like would be with you. Just they don't know when they're getting out of their situation. And also, after everything that they did, you're like, fuck you. I don't want to be with you now. Oh, that's the issue. This person doesn't understand that again, they created a lot of versatile, like a problem. Um, they were so unpredictable and they ran very hot and cold and it's almost like you need to watch out because it would turn into a very volatile situation is what they know because they're still connected to somebody else. So the answer is no right now. However, if you were free later on, this person would try to fix it. But until then, I feel like what they're going to be doing is, again, still drinking, still, still drinking their alcohol, still drinking their alcohol. That's what I think that they're still going to do, that they're not really going to do anything because they don't know what to do because they're stuck in their situation. And that though they did grow feelings for you, they can't be with you because they can't really be with anyone. and they're not going to do anything because they know that they can't. So the best thing that you could do is say, why did I attract this person into my life? Because you're a mirror of whom what comes into your life. And I feel like this that we've been getting stories like this, almost like somebody's been trying to get out of a relationship for a really long time and they can't get out of that connection. And so, their feelings have, I feel like, have grown for you since you've been in separation and you not reaching out to them, which is why they're like, starting to get a bit antsy. But like I said, they're still not strong. So we have to look at the inner child wound cards to see, why did you attract this person into your life? Where is the fragmentation? Like, again, that's where you'll see the karmic theme, the continuing karmic theme that continues to play out within your life. And what we see here is space. And what you see here is suppression. See here is self-love, abuse, rage, trauma, oppression, safety and security, and nurturing. Okay, these are your inner child wound cards. And we see, anytime we see oppression and suppression, it means that you were raised in an environment that you were not allowed to really express yourself. You were not allowed to have your natural unfoldment process. Every child has their unique unfoldment process, what they like, what they don't like. I mean, when you're 8 years old, you might have liked to play with Barbie dolls. And then when you're 9 years old, you might want to ride your bicycle. It's like having a parent say, you're not allowed to play with those Barbie dolls. Now you're going to play with this Ken doll. You're going to play with that Ken doll. And you're gonna ride a skateboard and you're gonna do this and you're gonna cut your hair and you're not gonna hang out with those people and or you know insults like, what were you doing, smoking pot all day? What were you doing, like drinking? What are you, loser? Like, that's oppression and suppression. It's keeping you down, taking your energy away, which obviously made you very angry because it's like it made you feel like, I'm not allowed to have anything. I can't have anything. And I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. So that's why I don't have anything. That was the message. So what you know is that there was a whole lot of space here to create, but you weren't allowed to create. So there's actually nothing there. You're like, because hey, you weren't allowed. It's like you were suppressed and oppressed, so you weren't deserving of money either. You're not enough, you're not good enough, we don't like what you're into, we're not going to give you money. You're being punished because you spoke out, you said something back to me, you don't like how I treated you, I'm the parent, I'm punishing you, I'm suppressing you, I'm oppressing you, I'm not going to nurture you, and you'll get the bare minimum of which is maybe like a little bit of house and food, but there really won't be any security or safety because at any moment, if you do something, we're going to always like, again, ignore you, gaslight you, make you feel like you're a piece of shit. We are going to make sure that you're not available. We're not going to be around for you. We're going to talk about you to other people. We're going to gaslight the environment to make people perceive that you're something that you're not. They're going to create a lot of trauma because, again, it's very abusive. And what it is I'm going to teach you, and this was the parents' message, that you don't deserve self-love, that you shouldn't love yourself, that you're not deserving of love. Again, that's, and if it wasn't said, it was definitely reinforced with actions, with you're not worth anything, you're not good enough, you don't have enough, no one will want you. Again, just cruel behavior. Like your parent was abusive, was a narcissist. And since it was done to them, they, never healed and they just projected and spewed out all that poison onto you, which is why you attracted this person. You attracted this person that acted like, well, that's okay. You're not doing what I like you to do. Well, I'm going to ignore you too. I'm going to gaslight you. I'm going to oppress you too. I'm going to do this also. So this awakened all your freaking wounds again, like of abandonment, which there was a lot because you grew up not with one parent. I felt like it was an entire kind of family that the might have had one really toxic parent, like a deranged mother that was like just full of rage and poison from whatever their childhood was. And because they were not happy with their life, they projected all that shit onto you, and you were the black sheep of the family. That's what I feel. And so you're like, well, I was always like someone that marched to the tune of my own drum. But understand when you have a toxic narcissistic parent that way, what they will do is they will convince the entire family verbally as well as unverbally, because what they'll do is they just hold back from giving to the other siblings unless they bully that child too, unless they treat that child bad too, and they gaslight the entire the person, the entire family is gaslighting that child, making you feel as if you're not worthy, that you're not good enough, again, to follow the agenda of that parent so that they would get, no one wants their parent to be mad at them, especially when they're reliant on finances and money and safety and security. So it was almost like the people that you grew up with were cowards. They weren't, that none of them stood up for you. They all went along with it because they were like, well, I'd rather that person be mad at you than me. So it created such a foul dysfunction in the family because that parent, that their mission was to bring you down because of their rage. Because here it was, you were different. You're going to speak up, you're going to talk, you're going to set boundaries, you're going to, and now you're bad. That narcissist can't utilize your energy for whatever they need. And they also can't blame you for the dysfunction of themselves, but they tried. And so, in that, it's like we can understand why you attracted this person into your life. Um, so now what you see is that there's still all this space, meaning you have to go out and create. You're not your wounds. You're not your trauma. Even though, hey, were around a parent and an entire family that had no problem taking from you and suppressing you. And I know exactly how that feels. I mean, I could tell you stories for whoever this is for. I mean, if it wasn't for me, gave my sister a place to live because, hey, she was struggling, and then when she got on her feet and everything was okay, she dropped me like it was hot. So never think these type of toxic people will change. They don't change. They're committed to seeing you the way that they want to see you. So they feel good about themselves. So they don't have to revisit, hey, well, maybe I was manipulated by a parent, or maybe I was wrong. Maybe I should try. Nope, they don't want to do that because, hey, it feels good to be more superior than you. Meanwhile, like I said, if it wasn't for me, my sister probably would be homeless today. She definitely wouldn't be married to who she's married to, and she definitely wouldn't have had the experiences that she had if it wasn't for me. So understand, it's a very common problem what we see here. It's just not talked about in society when a narcissistic parent, if they're an alcoholic, if they are, again, codependent and all they care about is controlling their husband, but their husband's avoidant or an alcoholic, what happens is like it's the mission. It's the mission of that parent to control the entire environment, the entire narrative, so they look a certain way. And that's kind of what I'm feeling with this person that's now thinking about you, that they're stuck with somebody that is controlling their narrative and they don't really want that anymore, but they allowed it. They don't like it because it's backfired on them, And so, but what you'll see is a very common problem. Very, very common. Drop in the comments if you grew up in a narcissistic family. Tell me whether you get along with your siblings. Tell me what the dynamic was that you grew up in. I'm curious to hear. We see again, so Spirit says, first and foremost, we transmute the negative energy by Spirit saying, have courage to act from a place of love instead of fear, especially since you were programmed in a place of fear. Okay. Let your heart guide you, but don't be stupid. Again, tap into the heart, the head, and the gut, but really tap into the gut first. It's the most accurate. And only in the now do you get divine guidance through gut, intuition, inner knowing. So the higher self will lead you. As far as your heart, when it comes to your passions, no people, when it comes to your passions, it's like you follow your heart because it's through your passion, which is your connection to the divine. And that is how the universe is going to respond to you and bring you everything that you need to transform yourself, is what Spirit is saying. And also take a leap of faith. You can't get healed in the same place that you got sick. Take a bold step, even if the path is invisible. Risks are going to be rewarding at this time. The universe is going to catch you. Okay, is this all part of the grand journey? There are good and bad that shapes your whole evolution. But what you got to do is stand your ground, to stand for what you believe in. And you can do that as long as you are, like I said, embodying a whole new consciousness and creating a whole new life. Well, guess what? You're going to see new people come into your life. You're going to see new opportunities that really do create a much more stable, um, foundation for you. Because just because we might have grown up in that doesn't mean that you can't create security for yourself. I have, and I don't talk to anybody in my family, and I'm really happy about it because my life is great, and it only keeps getting better. So understand, when you get away from the people that were toxic, and you can get away from them, allow yourself to heal so that you can forgive and you can let go, and you can forgive when your life is great. You don't really care. And it's like, because what I know is that I created my life by myself. And if, like I said, if it wasn't for me, my sister would probably be homeless. She didn't even congratulate me when I got married. And her reason was, you're living on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. And look at me. But my parents paid for everything for you. They paid for college. They paid for everything for you. So why can't you make your life work? You were the golden child. What happened? It's like, oh, because you know what? That dysfunction bleeds in everywhere. So even though my mother was nice to that person, the way that my mother was just fucked up. And because of that, well, it poisons the entire family, as I said. So you really have to watch out. It's not educated in our society, and people don't want to talk about it. And God forbid you tell anybody that that parent is abusing you or what's going on in the house. Everyone's not going to take your side because they don't want to deal with it. So the sooner that you disconnect and take a leap of faith and invest in yourself, I'm telling you from experiences, you will create a better life for yourself. One that's full of abundance. God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, will bring you everything that you deserve. Trust me. It's like, but it's almost like Spirit saying, you gotta, like, don't let anyone manipulate you. Don't let anyone guilt you, because hey, when you come from this toxic shit, they'll act like you don't have a right to go and create your life. You don't have a right. You gotta still do for us. And where again, you walked away a long time ago, but you're gonna have people not like that reality, because again, it makes them look at themselves, and then they have to do work, and they don't want to do the work. It was just so much easier to see myself as more superior than you. And that's what you have to realize and understand too, that if you don't heal it within your immediate family, you will marry someone and create the same dynamic within that family. Because I know that also personally, because when I married my husband, My husband's family was exactly like my family, the family that I grew up in. They disrespected my husband. They were not nice. They used him as like a walking wallet. Didn't come down and visit, didn't do anything. So, I mean, my husband and I lived a great life, and my husband, thank God, did not care. He was like, by the time I came around, he was like, I'm done. I've already tried to do everything, and they're still not happy. And that's another thing that you'll see with really toxic people like this. What you'll see is no matter what you do, no matter how self-sacrificing you are, it will never be enough because you will never fill someone else's well up with water. They have to do it themselves. And they don't want to do it themselves. So Spirit says your mind can't be in two places at one time. Focus on your passions, like stand your ground for what you believe in, because people have a bad way of coming back and resurfacing. And again, take that bold action that is going to push you out of your comfort zone because it's all about loving yourself right now. That's what Spirit's saying. Cultivate a deep self-love of acceptance and compassion, which you need to do because, again, look how you grew up. Look at the family the whole family dynamic. Look at the person that you just dated. Look how they just treated you. And it's all about this, Spirit saying. And I, again, as your reader, will tell you that this story I resonate with. And what I will tell you is you really got to love yourself. Be true to yourself. Love yourself. Believe me, the shit that's supposed to be not in your life will fall away. You know why? Because they won't get anything from you. And they're not going to want to sit there and watch you happy, and they're not going to clap for you either. So they'll fall away out of your life. And guess what? You will attract who you are like today, like things that resonate with who you are today and what you want today. I know I'm living it. So again, do this. Do this. I'm going to hold this card right here because it's like that's the most important thing. If you attracted that person and gave this person time, this means that this was not done enough. And you don't want that. And we leave off with one more message. And normally I don't resonate with the readings as much as I did today, but I do resonate with this one. And I will tell you from experience, you have to. You have to. I don't resonate with the boyfriend thing. I resonate with the family part is what I'm trying to say. So when you resonate with like family that does that, you will continue to relive people that try to sabotage your life or people that try to come into your life and think that you're not deserving. So I never had that with a guy. I had it with my husband's family. So you might have it with a friend. So it's anyone that you're supposed to be able to create that intimate connection with. And intimacy, I'm talking here, is about trust, cultivating trust. So, like you grew up not learning not to trust the family, then you attracted someone that you couldn't trust. And that is going to really, like I said, distort your perceptions about the world unless you again heal yourself, because then you're going to go into the world thinking that you can't trust the world or people in the world, and that's not true. You just couldn't trust those people. But it's always about cultivating that strong sense of self, that discernment that happens only in the now when we listen to our intuition, and that intuition comes on randomly. And there's always a call to action after, unlike mind chatter. So you know that it's, again, the divine that's speaking through you. So when you heed that warning, that's what you have to do. Again, because that's when things are going to be good. And we leave off with, again, Spirit saying it is about the faithfulness in yourself. Be faithful. Commit to your mind, your heart, and your will that you're devoted to the needs of your own soul. Why? Because again, if you left it up to everybody else, they wouldn't think that you were deserving of anything. So again, you're not here by mistake. You're here by God's design. God has purpose for you. Again, Here by design, not by mistake. Don't let anyone tell you different. Again, you have to trust in yourself, God, and the universe. Because again, the universe is an extension of God because God created the universe with its voice and it has the same energy as God's, which is unconditional love. And so God works through the universe to bring you everything that you need for healing. So all you need to do is stay true to yourself. Cultivate that self-love. Be faithful. Love yourself. Don't abandon yourself. If you abandon yourself where you're not 100% have your life together and you pull someone into your life, chances are they're going to be imbalanced. And, you don't want someone emotionally manipulating you so you feel obligated to help that person. You have to help yourself, is what Spirit is saying. That's why you attracted this person. All right, I'm going to leave that there. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.